Someone came up to me earlier and said, "Are you here to fire us up?" And the reality is, no. Looking out on that at that crowd fires me up. I mean, listen, I look at where our country is and where it's going, and I wonder what we can do about it. And to me, Convention of States is the second American Revolution, without the bullets this time. It's the opportunity for the people to actually stand up and do something big enough and worthy of our founding promise. And I don't have to explain the problem to people in this room. We understand what it is, and we know that neither political party is going to get it done. That's a room full of patriots, and it's going to be that 1, 2, 3% of patriots that are willing to cut through the resistance and say, now is the time. And this is the place. So I am honored to be a part of it and just to sit in front of so many great patriots. Well, it's an extension of service, A, and B, to the country and to the Constitution, to the oath that they made. You come back and it's hard to find a place of the same size and scope where you feel like you can have an impact for your country and for the Constitution specifically. It also is one of the things vets miss the most when they take off the uniform is the sense of purpose that you have. There's a meaningfulness to serving something greater than yourself, God and country. And so when you can come back and find something like this that's so well run, the mission is so clear, there's a grassroots imperative in every state. It's not like you just have to go to Washington, D.C. You can connect right where you're at. You add all that up, and it's like, well, this is the red, white, and blue uniform I can put on right now. And the training that I've been given, show up on time, work hard, have integrity, commit to a team, but also know how to lead. Those are all attributes that I know Convention of States loves to have in people involved too, so it works both ways. Great question. First of all, remember the media is not the real world. Most people in media have no connection to or even understanding of middle America or the folks in this room, hardworking folks who work every day, commit to their families, and then believe in this country unapologetically. They just don't get it, right? They went to the elite schools and have all the elite clubs, and they talk to each other, and they're baptized in the wokeness of their leftism. It just is who they are. Journalism schools produce leftists, and then they go out and produce news. And fake news is not just what they tell you; it's also what they don't tell you. So they don't tell you about Convention of States until they see it as a big enough threat, and then they tell you what an evil thing it is. So your job is to build the relationships with the legislators who you can have honest conversations with, who went into office for the right reasons, but sometimes don't have the courage to actually just do what they were sent there to do, which is ultimately serve their community, but also they did it because they love the country as well. So the media is going to do what it wants to do, and it's going to yell and scream about certain things. But I do think there are local reporters in local places who are still honest journalists and committed to the craft of the media. And you can approach them and build a relationship with them and see if they're willing to write something honestly. Otherwise, if you come to New York City, which is the hub of media, there's only one square block of sanity, and it's the Fox News channel. So you can come visit us and see the one spot where this might even, I mean, a guy like Mark Levin, there's nobody better on this topic. And talk to Judge Andrew Napolitano, who's a friend of mine. He's been an endorser of Convention of States. I mean, people who look at the Constitution seriously, who take that oath, and there's a lot of them at Fox, but there's a lot of things to cover too. So getting people focused on the issue can be a challenge. But when people vector in and look at Convention of States and then understand it, it's hard for them not to support it. And that's part of what my job is too. I would say, what are you waiting for, and what evidence do you have that the things that we've been doing or the things you've tried to do have thus far worked to stem the problems of the overreach and growth and complete irresponsibility and recklessness of the federal government? Like, what has worked? Has it been electing Republicans? Has it been Republican legislatures? Has it been Democrats and Democrat legislatures? None of those things have limited the size and scope of government, have put our inserted any amount of fiscal responsibility, and the so-called swamp is never going to fix itself or reform itself. So if you want the power to actually roll back the leftist takeover of our government, nothing you're trying is working. And so don't fall for the small petty arguments of, well, it's going to be a runaway convention, or it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. There are so many checks once you understand this into what they're sent there to do, what they can do there once they get there, what happens if something goes awry, and then the states have a check once again, that it is the opposite of reckless. It's in fact an imperative for patriots to say, I will it's not even a roll of the dice. It's a duty to, and this is where I think you have to rewind and put yourself in the shoes of the men and women in the 1775 and 76 and that era. They had no sense that what they were embarking on would be successful. I mean, they had faith in God, and they had faith in rights that He endowed on them, and that was something righteous and worthy of fighting for. But taking on the most powerful empire in the world was like the worst idea ever, except they knew that their cause was right. And ultimately, through that righteousness, they were given an opportunity to succeed. And I think in this case, I don't know what the world's going to look like in 2025, but I sure as heck ain't going to wake up saying, well, I'm still working just on the 3% cut on it's like that. That's not going to get it done, folks. So if you're willing to be a bold person of the moment, this is where you're going to be.
Go to conventionestates.com, press the button, sign the petition. More importantly, get 10 of your friends to do the same. When you sign the petition, then that sends a letter to your state legislator. You go on the list in their district as a supporter. We deliver those lists to the state legislators. It means something to them.